Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. United legend accuses Raphael Varane of overreacting to injury. The latest medical reports indicated that Varan might have suffered a lesion in the femoral bicep in his thigh muscle, and it's not as bad as expected. Former United defender Jab Stam was not as empathetic as Ten Hag and was critical of Varan for showing so much of his emotions on the pitch. He was very emotional. He fell down, was just lying on the pitch, and after he stood up, he was very emotional. When I saw it, it looked like he had a problem with his hamstring, but of course, we don't know yet. I don't know what to say about this. He probably thinks he is doubt for the World Cup or whatever, but I can't understand being so emotional on the pitch. You try to imagine yourself why a player is so emotional and why he is acting like that, and I think there are other things that are worse than this, Stam told the Premier League Productions before the extent of the injury was made public. The reaction was understandable as Ten Hag later revealed, and the Frenchman must have wanted to be there for the World Cup and must have feared the worst. France will begin their campaign against Australia on November 22. According to the latest injury update, the centre-back still has an outside chance of being fit by then. Former Le Bleu boss Raymond Domenech advised current coach Didier Deschamps to not take any injured players with the team if they are to maintain any hope of retaining the trophy. He could probably take Varan to the World Cup, but if we ask ourselves if he should take him, then no. Domenech told L'Equipe via GFFN, "You don't take someone who will completely pollute the whole preparation." From United's perspective, Varan needs to regain full fitness before being thrown into the deep, and especially considering his poor injury record in recent times, he is crucial to Ten Hag's plans this season, and hopefully he can return after the World Cup with renewed vigor as the Red Devils' target applies in the top 4. Rio Ferdinand baffled by former Borussia Dortmund star Jadon Sancho being out of form at Manchester United. Manchester United icon Rio Ferdinand is baffled by the lack of impact Jadon Sancho has had with the Red Devils since his arrival from Borussia Dortmund. The ex-defender feels the 22-year-old has lost his confidence at the club. Sancho was signed by United from BVB in the summer of 2021 with the Bundesliga giants. The England international was one of the hottest prospects in world football. The winger's creativity in the final third had the quality to trouble any defense. However, the forward has not been able to showcase the same skills in Manchester yet, and speaking on his 5 with 5 YouTube channel, Ferdinand, who spent 12 successful seasons at United, is unable to comprehend the former Manchester City Academy star's struggles. Ferdinand went on to say, "His confidence just isn't there. The confidence and the swagger when he walked through the doors at Old Trafford isn't there right now. The ball gets to him, and the Sancho I know and have seen get him on the corner of the box and you are in dreamland, but then he is just coming back out and playing back and recycling the ball. This isn't you, man." Sancho had an underwhelming debut season in Manchester. The 22-year-old failed to replicate the form he showed in Germany in his first campaign back in England. With the arrival of Erik Ten Hag, the winger had a promising pre-season. The forward has been better under the Dutch manager. However, in recent weeks, the former Dortmund star's impact in a red shirt has dwindled. In 14 appearances this season in all competitions, Sancho has scored 3 goals and provided 2 assists. While he has been brilliant at times, the 22-year-old's inconsistency has frustrated fans. Graeme Souness slams Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag for their treatment of Cristiano Ronaldo. Manchester United have been slammed by Graeme Souness for their treatment of Cristiano Ronaldo at the club. The ex-Liverpool player leapt to the defense of the 37-year-old for his recent antics with the Red Devils. The Portugal international refused to come on as a late substitute against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. He subsequently proceeded to walk down the tunnel before the final whistle had blown. Consequently, the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner was axed from the squad that was set to travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea. And speaking on TalkSport, Souness took a swipe at Erik Ten Hag and suggested Ronaldo was right in what he did. He went on to say, "In 5 years, Ten Hag will be away from the club and nobody will talk about him and his spell as Manchester United ever again, but Ronaldo will always be remembered as arguably the greatest to have ever kicked a football. Does that give Ronaldo a pass? It does, in my opinion." Ronaldo is one of the greatest of all time, however, it doesn't allow him to get a free pass and set a bad example for others at the club. There are many people who look up to him, and this is not the kind of behavior we would want them to learn from him. It's a team sport after all. The badge of the club reigns supreme over everyone else, and a team can only function well if the manager has complete authority. Ten Hag, hence, did the correct thing by making an example out of the Portugal international. Antony labels Manchester United midfielder Casemiro the guard dog in the middle of the park. Manchester United star Antony has labelled compatriot Casemiro the guard dog of the Red Devils midfield. The 30-year-old has made a difference in the Old Trafford side's engine room since his arrival in the recent transfer window from Real Madrid. Casemiro had cultivated the reputation of being one of the best defensive midfielders in the world during his time in Spain. The Brazilian won multiple trophies with Los Blancos, including 5 Champions League titles. Speaking to the club's official website, Antony calls Casemiro a no-nonsense player, and that has shown in the 30-year-old's recent showings for the Red Devils. Antony went on to say, "I always say he is our guard dog in the middle. He is a no-nonsense guy, a more serious type. I think he will leave this goal celebrations to us attacking players." The Brazilian had to bide his time to make a mark in Erik Ten Hag's team. It just so happened that the midfielder walked through the Old Trafford doors during United's unbeaten run in the Premier League. In his short at the club, fans have been enamored by not just Casemiro's quality, but also his passion for the red shirt. Hopefully, the Brazilian is able to replicate a fraction of the success he saw in Madrid at United. Antony dreams of playing for Brazil in FIFA World Cup. The FIFA World Cup is well under a month away, and the players are already setting their minds to focus on the tournament. Manchester United winger Antony is dreaming of a World Cup call-up for his country in Qatar. The Brazilian is a passionate player and speaks highly of opportunities he has been given in his career so far. However, the winger now has his eyes and heart set on his dreams of playing for his nation, Brazil, at the upcoming World Cup. Antony arrived at United with a high price tag and expectation, having forced his way out of Ajax. The 22-year-old was sent on a dream move to the Premier League. He achieved it. The skillful winger broke a record at United and became the first player to score in his first 3 Premier League games for the club. He has provided fans with a lot to cheer about as he regularly displays his flair in games. Antony has spoken about the feeling of being given his first Brazil this year. He said, "My first call up to the Seleção was this year, so it's a wonderful experience for me. I have always dreamed of putting on the Brazil shirt. Today, I can live that dream leading up to a World Cup." United's number 21 has also spoken about his desire to make more history whilst representing his nation. He said, "Putting on the national team shirt, representing your country and your family is very important to me. I hope to be putting it on more and make history with the Brazilian national team." Man United like former Liverpool man Michael Edwards, but no decision made on future yet. Manchester United are interested in bringing former Liverpool sporting director Michael Edwards to Old Trafford, but he is not close to joining anytime soon as no decision has been made yet on his future. That is according to Benny Jacobs, who reports that nothing is imminent regarding Edwards' arrival at the Manchester club, even with a view to next summer, as the former Liverpool man is keeping all his options open as he looks for his next role in football. This comes after Football Insider reported that Man United are optimistic about luring Edwards back to work ahead of Premier League rivals Chelsea, with the report stating that the Red Devils are close to agreeing a deal with the 43-year-old and are willing to wait until next summer for him to join. Edwards left Liverpool during the summer after spending the last 11 years at the Merseyside club, having joined in 2011. The former Reds sporting director was replaced by Julian Ward after Liverpool's owners, Fenway Sports Group, made repeated unsuccessful attempts to persuade Edwards to extend his contract, reports Sky Sports. The 43-year-old is yet to decide on his next move, but it's likely that it could see him return to the Premier League. Manchester United to prioritise a right-back in January with Frimpong a candidate. Manchester United are to prioritise a right-back in January with Bayer Leverkusen defender Jeremy Frimpong a potential candidate. Despite having an impressive season under Erik ten Hag, Diogo Dalot has struggled to find consistent form for Manchester United up until the last few months. Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka were often rotated under the previous regime, with neither player able to grab the shirt and keep it. Now, according to journalist Florian Plettenberg, Manchester United are going to prioritise a right-back in the January transfer window, with Bayer Leverkusen defender Frimpong a potential candidate. Despite being just 21 years old, Frimpong has become a regular for Leverkusen since joining from Celtic. The Dutch defender has also managed 5 goals in 11 games so far this season from right back, with Ten Hag wanting his fullbacks to play more advanced and be involved in attacking phases of play. Frimpong could be the ideal target for Manchester United. At 21, Ten Hag will be able to mould and nurture Frimpong into the player he desires, and he is far from reaching his full potential. Manchester United to face competition from Tottenham for England international Tammy Abraham. Manchester United are set to face competition from Tottenham in the race to sign England international Tammy Abraham. Abraham left the Premier League last year in search of regular first-team football after Chelsea brought in Romelu Lukaku rather than giving the young striker a chance. As Lukaku flopped on his return to Chelsea, Abraham flourished at Roma, and a return to the Premier League could be on the cards for the England international. According to Calcio Mercato, both Tottenham and Manchester United will consider making a move for Abraham in 2023. Abraham made the decision to leave England in pursuit of regular football, and it certainly paid off for him. However, the former Chelsea man may want a return to his home country, and with 2 clubs pushing for the Champions League places showing an interest in him, he could be tempted if the right offer comes along. With Cristiano Ronaldo's contract expiring at the end of the season, Manchester United could prioritise a striker in the summer. Abraham knows the league, having already played in England with Chelsea, and certainly has a point to prove after not being given a fair chance at his former club. Man United strongly appreciated Jonathan David. Manchester United strongly appreciate the profile of Lille striker Jonathan David and are regularly monitoring him. French journalist Ignazio Genuardi claims there is currently uncertainty over the future of Cristiano Ronaldo, and he could head for the exit door when the transfer window reopens in the new year. In that case, manager Erik ten Hag will want a replacement, and Genuardi report that the Red Devils are keen admirers of David and are keeping tabs on him. The Canadian has been linked with a Premier League move for the past few seasons, and we won't be surprised if he heads to England in January or next summer. The 22-year-old netted 19 goals from 48 outings for Lille last term. He has stepped up his performances this season with 9 goals and 3 assists from just 12 games. If Ronaldo needs to be replaced in January, United should move for David's services. He has good pace and dribbling ability. He can also provide key passes in the final third. David has played as the main or second striker at Lille, but can also operate from the number 10 role. He was a regular starter in the position during his time at Belgian side Gent. Hence, he is a multi-dimensional striker with a keen eye for goal and would be a quality signing. As per transfer market, he is valued at 45 million euros. He would be a bargain for that price. United may possibly need to wait until this summer to land him, as Lille barely sell their key player in January. A firm example is Sven Botman, who was denied a winter move to Newcastle, but they signed him during the summer transfer window. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.